Watch the ride.
Hey everybody, it has been 10 weeks since I had that little oops with this bike, forgetting to undo the steering lock, coming off the side of it, and getting a hematoma in my leg, which is still kind of there. Not until it's 99% gone now, thankfully. It is going away, but there is still a bit of nerve damage, or at least numbness going on from it. But this is the first time I've ridden this bike since then. I'm quite impressed that it actually started, because as I say, it hasn't been touched in 10 weeks. And it's got cold, and I didn't think it was going to start. It was a little bit like, but then it went, and then it was going, and it was like, yes, I'm going now. So I cannot turn the engine off. It is kind of weird being on this, because I've been riding the BSA 650 for the past 3 weeks, which has now gone back. I had that for, a loan to do the review series, which is already out there. And I did say in those videos about how I actually kind of enjoyed riding the BSA more, and I kind of do in ways, because it's just a bit easier, it's more refined, you might say, but at the same time that just makes it more comfortable and a nice place to be and get around. But I have an XJ6 for doing comfortable miles and stuff like that. My second bike has to have a reason to exist, so it's got to be properly fun. And it's just interesting how a 45 brake horsepower single and a about 40 brake horsepower single have different characteristics. Now the DR is just a little bit psychotic. Well, you blatantly just ran a red for no reason. Don't worry, Derek, I'm not getting rid of you. You're that certain special something that I really kind of like. Well, I'm not used to riding it as much, though. Look, Derek, I will forgive you for not reminding me to take the steering lock off, and you can forgive me for dropping you on the floor, keeping in mind how hurt I got, keeping in mind how hurt you didn't. Can we call it a truce now? I mean, I appreciate you did actually try and start this morning. I didn't think you were going to do it. You did. You pulled through. You little good thing, you. It's funny, people say bikes are inanimate objects, but if you start thinking for a moment maybe their head's on the chopping block, they tend to just start miraculously fixing themselves. Old issues just go away. There's still maybe a day that I decide that I'm just not up for riding the DR anymore. I can see that day maybe happening when I'm quite a bit older, and then I'll be happy to see the bike go on and be used, but that's only if I don't find myself using it, and I do still use it quite a bit. Not as much on videos. I tend to grab it if I want to go on a ride on my own. I've never really talked about this, I don't think, but a few years ago I can hear sirens and I don't know where they are. Sorry, where was I? Yeah, a couple of years ago, actually I say a couple, it's probably a while back now. Every time I rode a bike, I was making a video, and making videos is my job. And riding bikes is something I did for fun, and then I turned the thing I enjoy doing for fun into work, and then you have this thing where it's not quite the same. And you think, well, that's fine, you just go on rides without the cameras. And I would do that, but then every time I go to do it, I'd think, yeah, but I could just take the camera with me and that's another video. Because it's better to make a video than it is to make me happy for an hour or two. Not that making videos doesn't make me happy, but it's not quite the same as, just out, not talking, just chilling and riding. And it got to a point, I was like, what do I want to do today? And I'm like, I don't know, I don't want to go for a ride, I don't want to ride? That's really odd of me. And so that's when I started thinking about all of this, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think it's that I don't like riding anymore. I think it's that I've just workified it way too much. So I started going out riding without the camera, so more often than not on this bike than the XJ6, and just have a chill little ride to myself. And doing that a lot, even though it was difficult at first, because I felt like I was wasting money on fuel because I wasn't producing content at the time, etc, etc. That sort of went away, and I realised, no, this actually, I really like biking again. I feel like I've got the same spark I always had before. But that makes total sense, really, doesn't it? You just don't overwork things and make time for you. Oh, I'm going to duck in here a second. Side note. For anyone who knows this area or grew up around here, there's this little historical thing going on. The multi-storey car park has been knocked down. This thing has been here for ages, and it will be such a central core memory to so many people. You know, if you came to Havant at the weekend because you'd park here, it takes me back to when I used to see my dad at the weekends, you know, because mum and dad had got divorced when I was like 6. So, you know, I did the classic thing, see him on a Saturday, get McDonald's. Now I can see where I want to go, because I got my gap right here. I have cut out so much sitting in traffic. Sat at light after light. Yes, I am going in Tesco's. It is a Friday afternoon. The weekend is here. I'm very, very much going to enjoy... Just stay there a second, I'll be good. Thank you. I'm going to enjoy a nice quiet weekend with Reno. So I need to grab some bits and pieces for us. This also means two things. One, I have to turn the engine off, and I really hope it restarts. And two, I have to use the steering lock. So I have to remember to take it off. I mean, I can't do what I did before, because I was parked in a parking spot where I could just pull out forwards without trying the steering. Here I'd have to turn it left and right to even get out, which is why it's such a weird scenario. On. So if you imagine, this is kind of how I was parked. The exit of the car park was off to my left here. So you can see, it looks like the steering lock's off, but it's not. It is on. And I tried to take this trajectory to get like an S and go back that way, and it was the point that I went to go back right. Yeah. And as I say, in every other scenario, you'd normally have to use the steering left and right to get out, but I could just pull out in this one turn. It was, whatever. Okay, so we are taking the steering lock off. The steering lock is off. Just to be sure now, the steering lock is off. Okay, I feel safe now. Please start. Please. Thank God. I cannot tell you how much time I've spent today sat waiting at these traffic lights between up there and here. Go on, amber me. Too late. Well, good work, Derek. You started up again. I guess we had a bit of a disagreement, you know. In any relationship, this can happen. We've come through that, and we are now stronger for it. Are you feeling better about things now, Derek? Oh, you are. Cool. Anything else you want to say? People should join Patreon. Well, I mean, that's very forward of you, Derek. You shouldn't be trying to promote things like that. I mean, I appreciate you trying to help me there, but it's only $1 a month. I know it's only $1 a month. Wait, I'm watching out for the tree, don't worry. The serenity, the geese, They were like, nope, nope. Scoot down here, why not? My throttle cable, I think, needs lubing. Just feels a little bit like it's not returning as quickly as maybe they should. Or it might just be because I'm used to, you know, an EFI on a single for the past 3 weeks. But you definitely notice the fact that you are holding a spring open. Cows! Dear, I'm just chilling out and there's cows! Unfortunately, they're not too close. I would like them to be closer. I would like to talk to them. I would like to touch them. On the nose. Boop! Boop the snoot! Snoot boop! Have I talked... I'm trying to remember if I've covered this in this video or not. I have made a video talking about the new DR. At this point in time, it's on Patreon and it's not been released, but at the point that you watch this on YouTube, it will be out. So people have seen what I've said. But there is something I'd like to add to that, or sort of a suspicion I have, or a concern, which is one of the things about, you know, this bike is the fact that it has a carburetor. And one of the things about carburetors is they are so snappy and quick to react. It's just instantaneous gravel. But with an EFI, and especially an EFI, which from what I can tell, well, the way they say they've made some differences on the engine, I think they might have made it so it's a little bit longer revving. I worry that it's going to be a bit slow in its sort of delivery of its power and it won't have this snappiness. We will see. We will see. We'll see. Hello. Oh, don't worry, Derek. You're safe. You're safe for now. I need to make a video talking about trail braking, or maybe I don't. It's just every time I mention about actual trail braking in the true sense of using your front brake in a corner, and yes, it is safe to do, and in fact some cases it's safer to do and it's better for cornering for a multitude of reasons. I've considered making a video explaining all that, but I do realise there are other videos out there explaining it, and I always get the feeling of like, well, what am I going to add to this? So would you like me to do my version of explaining what trail braking is and why it is that even though you're taught not to brake in corners, when you get more experienced you start doing it and it actually is better, but the problem is you can't tell a new rider to do it. Anyway, I'm now going to have a chill weekend. See, the BSA was a little softer with that. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, please consider hitting the like button, subscribe if you're new here, and if you'd like to support me, please consider doing that through Patreon or YouTube memberships. You've kind of got to do it because Derek asked. Yeah, he said, see? So until the next one, bye-bye.